What's up, everybody? Yo, we are live. Hey, I hope everyone's doing well. If you're new to the show, this is F.A.W.B. It stands for Forever a White Belt. I'm your host, Naughty Nate. I'm sorry, guys. I want to apologize real quick. I'm really sorry. I know I've been kind of somewhat lax on the podcasting this year. We've had so many things going on at the gym. I've been implementing more programs. We got our competition class going now. We have the kids program that's kicking up. We also have been doing early bird classes. So I've just been really dedicating quite a bit of my time to building up our program, especially since we're kicking off competition season. That's starting, what is it, this month or typically, but it actually started this past month with Chef competing over at the Scrapyard in that event. Big shout out to him. He had a wonderful match with Mr. Gilchrist. It was for the 145 title. And let's just say I'm very proud of our boy. All right. For those of you that haven't seen the match, guys, get the pay-per-view access. It's only $4.99. It gives you what is it, live, you're live for the event, so you get to see the events as they happen. And it's a great cause, I mean, it's the scrapyard. You get 20 plus matches typically at an event, totally worth the $5. What are you doing? Make sure you guys get that stuff. And yeah, if you're if you're in pain and stuff like I am, stop into Columbia River Jiu-Jitsu tonight at 6 p.m. We're gonna have Dr. Dima Tapico over there. He's a chiropractor. He's going to be doing a free seminar to help out anybody that has any aches and pains, anything that they have going on. So yeah, stop in tonight, 6 p.m. We're gonna be kicking that off. Let's see. Next competition we have coming up is going to be for the March event. I believe that is going to be on March. Let me check it out real quick. Sorry, I should have had this already written down. Let's see what February. It looks like March 21st. So March 21st, we're going to be bringing the Reptilian top team up to the scrapyard. I'm anticipating having at least 6 to 10 guys potentially competing in the event. So stay tuned for that. Like I said, get the pay-per-view access to see it live. After that, we'll be doing a April 4th event at the NWC. I will have 3 of our competitors in that event: Chef, Bulldog, and the young King Solomon. All 3 of them will be making their debuts at the NWC, so we're really looking forward to that event. Big shout out to Viking Warrior. See, I'm wearing the gear today. He's doing his 3rd pro event in New York City at the Star Boxing promotion. Guys, this is a scrapyard legend that has turned pro, that is now competing over in New York. He's from the West Coast, and they flew him out to go compete. That's pretty amazing stuff. And he's not the only one. We got multiple pro fighters now, or multiple competitors that came from the scrapyard that are turning pro now. It's fantastic, man. Also, a couple shout outs to JJ Kaluju and Isaac Gill. Both of them have a match on March 7th at the Alani Casino. They're going to be on the same card, not competing against each other, but they're going to be on the same card. Tickets available now. Make sure you check that show out. That's going to be freaking awesome. Both those guys are previous guests of the show, so we're always there to help support them on their journey. And last but not least, guys, big shout out to Fire Chicken. He's over in New York right now, wrapping up the documentary. They had the last bit of filming that they needed to do before the documentary is released. So yeah, that should be coming out. We'll have a dates, I'm sure, in the near future. Safe travels, brother. I know you're over there doing your thing. Hopefully, you might be able to get over to Viking Warriors match. That'd be really cool. But you know how things work out. Hopefully that all pans out well for you guys. Now, guys, without further ado, I have a freaking huge guest on today. And I'm just gonna bring him on. If you don't know, you will soon. welcome Big Hurt. What's up, man?
What's going on? How you doing?
I'm doing well. I'm actually pretty sore. We had a open mat last night. We do it every Friday night. We host. I call it Friday Night Fray for All.
Hmm.
Last night we had about 17 guys in there. And basically what we do is you show up at 5, we hit the timer and we just do rounds for 2 hours. So yeah, it gets
Yes.
tiring, man. And last night because we had so many people, I actually normally we do 5-minute rounds, uh,
Hmm.
which is pretty tiring, you know how that is. It's pretty tiring.
Right.
Last night we had to cut it down to 3-minute rounds just so we can rotate so many. I didn't want the mat to be that crowded, so we needed to rotate groups in. And yeah, man, big shout out to Dirty Lefty and Lights Out. They actually traveled from outside of Seattle to Vancouver to come train at the gym. So
That's good. That's
yeah,
good.
man, we've had it's amazing because we've had multiple competitors from the scrapyard that have traveled to come train with us. I'm always so blown back by that. I find that to be such a huge compliment. And yeah, and also we had Alien, was it Horizon the Alien? He was
Hmm.
there. He's only competed once at the scrapyard, but he's very talented. I haven't seen him since I want to say like at least over 6 months now, 6, 7 months. And he just randomly was in Vancouver and he's
Right.
like, hey, he stopped on in and I was like, yeah, bro, jump on the mat. Let's do it. And yeah, we got to get some time in with him on the mat. So that was really awesome. But I'm feeling it today, bro. Like,
Yeah.
I'm almost 40. Like I tell these guys, I can still do it, but it's the recovery time. I need time to recover. I can't do it
Yeah.
every day anymore.
You ain't gonna get it 3 days. You ain't gonna be good in three. Yeah. It takes a week or
Yeah,
so. Yeah.
man. Yeah. I'm sure you can contest to that as well, man.
Oh,
What's your
absolutely.
recovery time look like after you have a match?
Well, actually, the last match I had was back in November against the Wall,
Hmm.
and when I gave him that uppercut, it messed up my shoulder. My shoulder's still
Oh,
messed up to this day.
no shit.
Yeah.
It didn't
And
look
so when
like it 'cause you did have you actually had a dirty boxing match a couple
right.
weeks ago. So it didn't seem like it affected you too much. What's going on with that though?
Well, I took an ibuprofen 800.
Hey, there you go.
I
Nice.
did some warm up and everything. And when you get old, the cold starts hitting you and everything. So
Mm,
it really hurts. So I just had to fight the pain. And plus, I had a person with me who I've been training for about 3 months.
mhm.
It's Anonymous Dozer. He won at the second round. He was the second to last match. And I was his corner man. He won that one. And he might be coming back too
Oh, that's awesome, bro.
next month or in April. I don't know yet. But yeah, it was hurting. It was hurting pretty bad, and that's what I was worried about. So that's why I kept on just throwing the jab, just to get it warmed up. And when I dropped him with the left, which is the second time in my life I dropped somebody with the left, I was like, okay, I'm good. But the match ended with him, gassing out.
Mm.
I was
Well,
doing
you put
warmed
that
up.
heat on him, bro. I was gonna say you put that heat on him, and there wasn't much he can do after that. So
Right.
I mean, that was a very impressive match. Before we really dive into that, because
Hmm.
for those of you that don't know, that was the first premiere of Dirty Boxing that we've had at the Scrapyard. Um, I can't wait for that video to come out. By the way, I think
I'm
it's gonna
waiting.
be fantastic. Great display of technique. That's really what we want that ultra heavyweight division to be like. Exciting. Anytime you guys touch somebody, it could be lights out.
Mm.
You guys got so much power and weight behind you, and so it's always fantastic to see two big guys going at it. But everybody has an origin story, bro. Like everybody kind of like started dabbling. I would love to hear yours.
All right.
Why don't you tell us how you kind of got into martial arts?
Well, my dad was teaching me boxing since I was 3 years old, and I was approximately in California. He was in the military. So he taught me and my two brothers boxing. My two brothers fell off, but I never stopped. So I watched the greatest like Lennox Lewis,
Yeah.
Ray Lewis. I've watched Evander Holyfield when he started coming up, Riddick Bowe. But I was really on Mike Tyson. My
Mhm.
dad really focused on Mike Tyson. And he taught me that you're going to be long limbed and everything, so you need to be in range and everything. But I was always more of an infighter, so got into boxing when I was 3. I did karate when I was about 11, maybe 10, 11. I did that for a year, but because of finances, my dad raising three boys, so I couldn't continue it. I was always getting in fights in school because that
Mm.
was my outlet was martial arts. So he bought me a punching bag, speed bag, gloves, and I just continued practicing. I never stopped shadow boxing. I never stopped working out. I just stayed with it. And it was unfortunate because the main reason why I'm actually doing the scrapyard actually is because I wanted to prove to myself that I had the potential to be a pro. Maybe not world
Mm.
champion, maybe some type of champion. So I'm really in the scrapyard for everybody who's watching and wondering what I'm fighting for. I'm fighting for me. I'm fighting to see if I had it within me to be at least a champion, of something. And with all the love and the respect I'm getting from everybody in the yard and the fame and everything. Well, I would say fame, but the acclamation and acceptance.
Notoriety and stuff.
Right.
Yeah,
It's like
definitely.
I was like, man, I could have been somewhere. I mean, three fights in, three
Mm-hmm.
wins, two by decision, one TKO. It's like, yeah, I had potential and I'm still growing. And I'm
Yeah.
40, by the way. So I'm
Mm-hmm.
fighting guys that are younger than me, except for the first fight. He was the same age, but still, it lets me know that I had potential. So I found out about the scrapyard. I was watching YouTube and I keep on seeing people fight, but it was scrapyard street beef. And I kept on seeing everybody fight, and it was wonderful, grimy, and it was like realistic, even though you have gloves and everything, it's really realistic. And I was like, man,
Right.
I really want to do that. But at the time, my kids was getting sick, getting in trouble in school, whatever the case may be, so I didn't have that. I was actually supposed to compete in 2024, but with the kid's mom having to work and a lot of things going on, I didn't. And I was like, you know what? I'm doing this for me. 2025, I'm going to compete. So the first fight was in October, and I forgot what his name was, but can't forget that he wore his face on his pants. You could never
Yeah.
forget that.
Yeah.
And I signed up for boxing. Nobody was there for boxing. You were actually my
I
cornerman.
remember. I
Yeah,
remember. Yeah.
and you called me Big Head. I was like, no, that's Big
Mm-hmm.
Hurt. I
I
was like,
said, was it?
oh,
Would you say big head, big what was it? Yeah, big hurt, bro. I was like, oh my
yeah.
bad.
And so he's like kickboxing or MMA. I'm like, oh, you know what? I've been out here all day. I was like, maybe almost the last fight. I was like, I've been here all day. Why not? I'll do it. And
Mm-hmm.
it actually turned out for boxing for me and kickboxing for him, really. And I won that. I mean, there was a lot of opportunities I could take him down, but it's MMA. I'm 300 plus pounds. Yeah, I'm not getting down. So I got a lot of respect for everybody in the yard who does MMA, not me. Let's keep it standing. Like, let's please keep it standing. And I had a talk with him too after a fight. I was like, bro, you could have just did kickboxing. He's like, oh, I didn't think about that. Please do next time.
Yeah, next time
Please
think of
do, because all that grabbing, that we're too big for all that.
yeah. It
So
does add another element for sure when you throw in the grappling, but
right.
I will say it's a testament to your character. Like I said, you showed up to do boxing and all that was available was MMA. And that's quite the jump, man, because you're dealing with full range. I mean, you're dealing with more aspects of combat in
Mhm.
MMA than you are in boxing. So if you've been a boxer forever, yeah, how are you gonna adjust to getting kicked or how are you gonna adjust getting taken down? And that didn't seem like it was much of a factor or really crossed your mind. You're like, hey, I'm here to fight. You had an
Mhm.
opportunity to step away because it wasn't like your circumstance, but you're
Right.
like, hey, I'm gonna step in anyway. And that to me shows like again your character and that you're willing to step in there no matter what. And that's a true sign of a fighter. So
Right.
I would take that with you as well, man. You didn't back away at all.
Right. And I mean, even like I said, it was tough. And I've wrestled with people before. I picked them up and throw them and all that. I know how to grapple. I know how to do submissions. I'm actually teaching my son submission moves. Well, actually, I stopped because he was doing it too much at school.
Yeah.
And for everybody who's watching, please be
Mhm.
mindful of submission moves because they are dangerous and you could potentially knock somebody out or kill them. So please be mindful
100%.
of that. And that was the problem with him. Like, didn't get that in mind. And a lot
Mhm.
of people got to learn the hard way. So
Yeah.
now he's just boxing. He's
Mhm.
boxing. My youngest daughter's boxing. The oldest one is boxing. We're all doing boxing. If they
Mhm.
want to branch out, they'll branch out. But I know my son for sure wants to someday go pro. So he might
Okay.
come to, if the yard is still there, he might come out to the yard. He might see what
Hey, we plan on it still being here, man. So that would be
right.
amazing. We get, Big Hurt, second generation coming through the yard. That'd be fantastic, bro. And if he ever wants to get in some training, like I said, with jujitsu or whatever, you guys are always welcome to come down to the gym. I'd be happy to show you guys some submissions and we can go over some positioning and transitions and all that good stuff.
Right.
I agree with you that jujitsu is very dangerous, even though it's called the gentle art. It's it's very dangerous. If you're, when you apply a submission, I was just going over this last night with a couple guys. It really just takes like that much
Mhm.
past that point of like no return, and then that arm's broken. You got a little fracture or something.
It
Or
only
if
takes
you
a small
hold
amount
on
of
to a
pressure.
choke, yeah. Or if you hold on to a choke maybe a couple seconds too long, that can mean the difference of like that person waking up and that person not waking up. So it
Right.
is good to kind of get that experience in a controlled environment, stuff like that.
Right.
um Here's a question for you. When you stepped into the yard, when you showed up at the scrapyard, did you have any pre notion of kind of like what it would be like? Were you kind of nervous about the atmosphere? I mean, because it is outdoors.
Hmm.
I know that that's kind of like a different environment than like signing up for an amateur fight where you're typically indoors, you're in a ring, all that stuff. How did you feel about the environment and whatnot when you showed up to the scrapyard, or
Well, when I
before you
first
showed up, and then when you got there?
Well, before I showed up, I was just, I was in the mirror. I was doing mantras. Kept on saying, "I'm not fighting me. I'm not fighting them. I'm fighting me. The man
Mm.
across from me is me in a different version." So I kept on saying mantras like that, and then kept on saying, "What am I fighting for?" And I have to keep remembering what I'm fighting for because the other person may be fighting for something that's greater than me, and you never know they can win. All it takes is
No,
one hit. So then when I got to the yard. I'm not even gonna lie. I had a mean look. I was like sizing everybody up, looking
I
at them,
saw it.
wondering. Yeah, I was like, okay, am I gonna fight him? The gardener, the first person who came up to me was the
Mhm.
gardener, and I'm not trying to fight Islanders or Samoans or
Mhm.
anything like that because man, I mean, everybody knows. Like, man, that's like
They like the
Alana,
bang, yeah.
right? Like Alana, I believe that's his name, the one that
Alani,
fought. Yeah,
yeah.
Alani. Yeah.
Mhm.
I'm actually preparing for him sooner or
Mhm.
later because he's level 2. I just moved up to level 2, so I'm
Mhm.
actually preparing for that big one sooner or later. But yeah, it's like he came up to me. He's like, "Am I fighting you?" I'm like, "No,
No, man, no,
no."
we're not even in the same weight class. Get out of here.
Right. I was like, I'm bossy. He's like, "Oh, okay." And then he came up to me twice, and it was funny. I'm
Mhm.
like, man, like he's ready. And when I saw him bust that dude in the eye, I was like, whew, it ain't me, you
Yeah, he's
know?
like a little brick house, man.
Right.
Shout out to him. He just, man, his last match though, he actually contacted me after his last match.
Hmm.
That was a tough boxing match for him. He went against somebody again his size and may have had just a little bit more cardio than he had under him and was able to outlast him. And
Right.
yeah, he hit me up. He's like, "Man, I need to go and hit the gym and start getting it, getting those reps in so I don't have that happen anymore." So I anticipate when he comes back, we're gonna see maybe a different fighter, maybe somebody that kind of leveled up and isn't
Right.
gonna have those like little I don't know, cardio issues
Right.
that he had in his previous fight. So
Right. So yeah,
yeah.
like I was just sizing everybody up, and then when people started coming, "Oh, this is your first time," you're like, so it kind of broke me down. I'm like, yeah, hold on, everybody's not, I thought everybody was like ready to bang out, ready just to throw down, and me
Mhm.
being on the streets and everything like that, I'm just ready. You gotta stay
Yeah.
ready,
Hmm.
but it's softened me up, and then when I saw the fights and everything, you could just all the people that talked to me, next thing you know, just the demeanor change, like
Yeah.
their aura change. It's like, ooh, like okay, yeah, they about it, but they're
That
not really like that,
switch. Hmm.
right? Especially my opponent, I was like, man, it's going. I mean, I'm gonna feel bad if I hit him really hard, but when the first overhand right that I throw, I was like, oh man, this ain't gonna be good for him.
Hmm.
And then when what got me mad, and I think a lot of people noticed too, was when I got pushed to the wall and then punched. That made me mad. It's like you ain't got to do all that.
Yeah.
You had to clear shot because I was unbounded. But the little push and then the punch, I'm like, that's why I just kept giving it to him. Like, nah, we're not doing that again. But it was a fact of yes, I was nervous. You're always going to be nervous. If you're not
Mhm.
nervous or anything like that, then there's something wrong with you because all it takes is one hit. You could possibly not wake up. You could fall wrong. Like you could get hit in a weird place. I know my daughter, like for example, I'll use her for example. Like when she was, sparring with her brother, instead of going for the face or the chin, she always went for the neck.
Hmm.
Now, technically, it's I'm not gonna say it's legal or illegal, but I am gonna say that it happens.
It's
And all it
legal.
takes is like maybe 100, 200 pounds pressure, boom,
Hmm.
you're done for,
Oh,
So
100%. Yeah.
yeah, I
I
was
would even say less pressure than that.
right.
And it,
So
I mean, you got to think velocity too. So yeah.
right. And that's what, so yeah, I'm nervous and everything like that. But when I got hit, it's like, oh, well, you don't hit hard, so I can go with you.
Mhm.
Let's see if you can outlast me. And then, yeah, the exhaustion, I'm like, ooh. And when you fight, people think that you got to do all this type of stuff, but you're not like running and jumping. But the fact of the matter is, that's a whole different cardio when
Yes, it
you're like
is.
in a street fight. I mean, street fight can last maybe 30 seconds, maybe a minute, could last even longer. If it lasts longer, then I'm gonna question a lot of things, but
Hmm.
normally you're not gonna be exhausted. But when you're doing a fight with rules and rounds and everything, like you're moving, shifting, you're bobbing and weaving, you're
Hmm.
punching, you're blocking, and you're trying to get that's a whole different type of cardio. And it let me know that not only do I not run, but it lets me know that my cardio game sucks. And
Mm.
that's why I've been trying to work on. Like most of my cardio is based off of footwork and throwing the punches. My shoulders are good because that's all I did was shadow box and everything.
Mhm.
But it let me know that my cardio game is it needs a lot of work.
Yeah, and hey, that's kind of why we do competition too. I mean, at least that's what I'm doing competition for now at my age, is to
Right.
really see what I need to improve on, just in case I do get attacked in the real world. I want to be fit, I want to be ready, and cardio is such a huge factor. And you got to factor in as well that like when you're doing competition, you're actually competing against somebody that was preparing for you. Maybe not
Right.
you specifically, but they were preparing to fight compared to you're running into somebody on the street. You never know what they got going on. You don't know their background. You don't know if they fight all the
Hmm.
time or if they're ready to fight. Some people like to just get loud and save face, and
Hmm.
that may scare off a lot of individuals. But when you're at an event and everybody's there to fight, like you got the adrenaline going up as well, and that's a factor. That's something you got to transition to. And I always say, like, it's the speed at which things are happening that you
Hmm.
have to kind of make those adjustments in the ring. And
Right.
no running, no swimming, no bike riding is going to prepare you for when somebody's coming at you with intention to hurt you. It's a
Right.
different feeling, it's a different speed, everything. So I think you really adapted well. I like how you fell kind of right into it, and maybe it did take you getting hurt to kind of throw all those little like reserves out the window and be like, hey, we're in a fight. Now I'm gonna fight. Forget it. And
Yeah.
sometimes that's all it takes. I like to tell guys, that are new to it or experienced or inexperienced. When the match starts, just go out there and hit them really quick. Just get it going, bro. And you just hit them once, and then if you have to, sit back in. But that one hit and just crossing that line will help you settle in and kind of get things going. So we're not just standing there bracing and waiting, because that freeze mechanism could really put you on your back foot, and that could put you at a big disadvantage if you don't pop off when you need to pop off.
Right.
Um,
I call it a wake up call. That's what I call
there
it.
you go.
That's what happened in my first fight. Yeah, it was a wake up call. Like when I got that push and punch, I was like, "Oh, gotta wake up." When the wall hit me in the second round, everything went white. A lot of people just thought I was okay. No, I was not. That I
Hmm.
saw all white. And I may shake my head and everything like that, but no, that let people know, oh, that was a wake up call.
Yeah.
Like when I threw the 1-2, and it was the first time that my opponent, I forgot his name, but he hit me, and I went like this. I'm like, mm-hmm, yeah, that was, and he busted my lip. I didn't even realize that
Yeah.
until I
Damn.
got home. I looked in the mirror. I'm like, oh, I should have hit him even harder.
This guy just
But
hit
now
me
that you know
hard.
that, like you busted my lip. That barely happens. But at the same time, it was a wake up call.
Mhm.
Now I'm like, okay, now I'm in it. And a lot of people need that first hit. A lot of people just gotta get touched.
I
But
agree with you 100%.
but at the same time, though, like don't let somebody hit you. Just like taking it.
Mm-mm.
Just have your hands up. I mean, a punch slip. It happens. Maybe your reaction ain't fast enough. Maybe their punch was faster than you can actually see and be ready for. I mean, it. You never know.
Yeah,
But
so many
me,
factors.
yeah. But for me, I lean too far in with my right because I was trying to land that overhand right, and I leaned too far in, and it
Mm.
just looked like, and then it just became a straight, and I fell right into his jab. So that's on me. That's not on him. That was on me. So I basically his velocity and the way he punched, boom, and I just basically ran into a wall. So that's
Yeah,
basically what
big ass
happened.
wall. That
Right.
happened, yeah. Uh, since we, you're in kind of like a unique position because you're in the ultra heavyweight division, right?
hmm
So, how would you compare that division to other divisions?
To be honest with you, like, I mean, yeah, I was a lighter and I fought people who were my same weight class, my same weight and everything like that. To be honest with you, it's when you're big, and that's why when the commentators say some things that I go back and watch, and you guys got to understand this. Like when you're big, you can't just go in. You
Mm.
really can't. You gas out quick. I'm right now. I'm at 340. 2 weeks ago, I was at 320. I gained 20 pounds from somewhere. I don't know, maybe monsters or something.
It's
I don't
muscle,
know.
bro. It's muscle, bro.
That too,
Weighs more than fat.
and and speaking of which,
Mhm.
people don't realize that they have to understand their bodies, not just your body, but other people's body. So when you have more muscle, it takes up more oxygen,
Yep.
especially when you're in a competition. So people need to understand that. And yes, people should go in where they need to, but please understand if you're 240 plus pounds, that's a lot of oxygen that your muscles is using up. That's a lot of energy that you're doing when you got to throw your kicks, when you're going for a grapple, when you're doing a takedown, even a punch, and you put your weight into it and it's perfectly symmetrical with everything that you're doing. That's a lot of energy. So if people get upset with me that I throw jabs, you should be happy I'm throwing jabs because that person is going to try to hit because they're losing points. They're
Mhm.
going to try to come at me. I'm conserving energy. There's strategies to fighting. You can't just go in and just bang out like a lot of people do. No, you have to strategize. You always have to set it up. So it's tougher when you're heavier than when you are lighter. And when you're
Mm.
lighter, it's still dangerous because you're faster and those punches are coming quick. And
Yeah.
I know because I've been hit a few times in in my days where somebody's just throwing a barrage and it's like, man, I just got to cover up and then I'm the one grabbing now and then
Yep.
shifting off and I have to reset. So everybody understand when you're big, you got a lot of power, but you're using way more energy. So when you see like myself, I'm always going to slow the pace, make it my own. Like you were telling me, don't throw
Mhm.
that, don't throw this, set it up.
Yeah,
I
don't
control
waste
it.
nothing, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Until you get into the wall or corner, and which I was doing, and I watched the live again like 5, 6 times, and I realized I was doing some pivoting, and every time I hit him, he wanted to turn around,
Mhm.
boom, boom, then laid it into him. Like I have to wait for my shots, and when I get to the right position, then I can do all that. But when I reaching that, when my tank is getting empty, yeah, I got to reset. So no, I'm not
Mhm.
going to stay in the pocket long, and no, I'm not going to engage if I know my energy. He was gassing out, and I wasn't even breathing hard.
Mm.
Honestly,
Yeah.
I, it was a warm up, and that's what I was telling people. Like the second round was a warm up because I started hitting every single punch I was hitting. So
Mhm.
it was a warm up for me. Two to the body, two to the face, and then I'm going in, and I was going to go under and throw an overhand, but he gave up at that point.
Yeah. Yeah.
You
And
know,
good thing too, man, because if you'd have connected with that overhand, the way you were lighting him up, that might have been lights out for him.
right?
So he was probably just saving his face. No disrespect, but yeah, just the fact of the matter. You guys check out the match once it's released. That's just the fact of how it was, man. Do you feel like people, because of your size and whatnot, people really neglect the technical side of what it is you're doing because they just think like, oh, just go out there, like you're saying, go out there and just hit the guy. You're big, just swing on him. So they kind of put that technical aspect on the back burner.
Well, if a person is truly a fighter, this is what I would say. If a person is truly a fighter, they've watched boxing, even UFC and everything like that, then they're excited that there's going to be a knockout. Everybody
Mhm.
knows when you got big people in there, it's going to be a knockout. But that's not necessarily true, though, because you have all these other factors. Like if you watch boxing, they'll say, yeah, there's going to be a knockout, but they will talk about the technicality of their fights and how
Mhm.
it builds up to that. So a person who's a real fighter, will know that okay, he's reserving himself. Okay, he's picking a shot. Juggalo Jay was in there, in the booth, and he actually said it too. They're finding their range. you have to find your range. A real
Mm-hmm.
fighter, a real person who's a fighting enthusiast or martial arts enthusiast will know you have to find your range. So at the end of the first round, I found my range. Now I'm
Yeah.
connecting. Now I'm moving in. Now my head's constantly moving. I'm slipping the punches. So yeah, I found my range. He couldn't because he was too busy running into my fist. You
Right.
know. So yeah, I say some people who are just too excited to see two big people fight, they forget. You know, I'm not
Mm-hmm.
saying they don't know or they forget. There's some people who don't know at all, and they just want
Yeah.
to see two people hurt themselves. And there's some people who'll be like, "Man, I'm seeing the opening." Like what you were telling me, I wasn't seeing it. And this is what I'm telling the person I'm training, anonymous dozer. I
Mhm.
tell him this too. When I'm yelling out to you, you may not see it, but I'm seeing it.
Yep.
So a lot of other people would be like, actually, Lights Out. Shout out to Lights Out, by the way, because he did say this too, and I do agree with him. I'm in the pocket way too long. And he's like, man, when he hurt him like that, I go in. He's absolutely right. I should have went in a lot of times. I
Mhm.
should have went in for the up, came down with a four, and came up with an uppercut. I could have came up with a lot, but I
Mhm.
didn't because I'm. He had a 2 inch reach, and he was walking around showing how he throws his punches and everything like that. So I'm like, okay, I got to play a in and out kind of game with him. I got to wear him
Mhm.
out before I can get my stuff in. So yeah, like I said, shout out to him because he is correct. I could have went in and I could have ended it right then and there. And I had other things in my mind.
Mhm.
So I think people just forget, or some people just are too excited. But at the end of the day, yeah, people got to be mindful. Like you just can't do like that's it's not a street fight.
Yeah.
It's not a street fight. It is a regular fight, 2 minute rounds, 3 rounds.
Yeah.
Like it's not like a street fight. Anything can happen. Like you have trash cans, you have a dumpster, or you have a brick wall, or you have cars. Like that's a different story. But when you're in
Mhm.
there, you have to conserve your energy and pick your shots.
Yeah, you have to have a strategy. And it's impressive to see you already realizing that, and you're developing these strategies. And you're not only developing these strategies, but you're actually learning from your previous experience too. And that's sometimes that can be tough to do when you've had success in your
Hmm.
matches, man, because people that generally have success in their matches think like, "Oh man, whatever it is I'm doing, I'm just going to keep doing that." But you're looking at your matches and seeing like, hey man, where can I get better? And
Right.
again, that's a great testament to your character and how you want to represent yourself as a martial artist.
Right.
So again, big ups to you on that, and continue that, man, because I feel like the competition, like I said, it only shows you what you need to improve on. And it's
Hmm.
up to you to recognize that and then put in the work to get that 1% better every time you're training.
Right.
So I'm glad that you're doing that. Speaking of training, you competed in the first ever dirty boxing match at the scrapyard.
Right.
um what made you decide that you wanted to do dirty boxing instead of just a standard regular boxing match?
Well, honestly, I was supposed to fight in December, and that didn't happen because I was told that they didn't have people with my experience or my weight.
Hmm.
But the wall, he was lesser weight, and he fought what's his name, bone uh barn dog or something like
Barn
that.
dog,
Yes,
yeah.
him. So he fought him. It would have been me, but I think I was like maybe 10 pounds more. So there was about 90 to almost 100 pounds difference. So
Hmm.
I couldn't compete. And then they said, experience. And I'm like, well, I'm level one technically. I have some martial arts, so that's why I was like, I'm just gonna move up a level. The next time I compete, I move up a level. I
Hmm.
didn't do January because the kid's mom had to work and I had to watch kids.
Hmm.
So I didn't watch it go January. Actually, no, that was part of the reason. But before that happened, I got hit up on it was like a little message thing in the community talking about dirty boxing and everything. And it was my opponent who was talking about it.
Hmm.
And Sandra, the photographer, shout out to her and her work is beautiful
Big shout out
pictures
to
and
her.
everything.
Hell yeah.
She mentioned my name and everything, and I got the notification. I'm looking at the comments like, man, why my name being mentioned? What's going on here? And it's not the first, like second or third time because I was talked about with going against Solo and going against Alana. or I keep messing up his name.
Alani, no big deal.
Alani.
Yeah,
Right. So
yeah. We call him whatever we want until we get in the ring.
right.
Just
So so this notification, I looked at it and I'm like, what is it? I'm like, dirty boxing. I'm like, okay, well, if Fire Chicken says okay, I'm gonna talk to him first, with respect and everything. But I'm gonna talk to him. If it's cool, I'll pass off on January and be ready for the February, right?
hmm
So I talked to him and everything. I asked him, hey, what's going on? Out of respect, I know all the rules about open challenging people and this and that third. I just want to get an understanding. He told me yes, there's being talked about. If anybody's interested, want to participate, go ahead and put up on a sign and everything like that. And
hmm
we'll talk about the rules and everything like that. And I kept in touch with him a little bit. And I was like, okay, cool. Well, I said, look, I'll pass off January and come in February. But I was going to come down and watch, but then the mom and the kids and everything.
Yeah.
So that takes priority. So
hmm
I watched the matches and everything and I was training, but it was good though. Like it was cool. Like it,
hmm
it reminded me of my first match, without the kicking,
Yeah. Yeah.
to the man's private parts, which I apologize for that. Like
It
instead of having a
happens
kick
though.
iron. Yeah,
It
it does
happens.
happen. But it
hmm
was, I would say people should do it, and it should be for all weight classes. Like
hmm
you're not bogged down by the gloves because gloves are, I believe, they're 12 to 16 ounces, so
hmm
they weigh down. The problem, however, is now your guard is not as strong as you think it is. So
Yep.
when you are in a high guard and you're blocking like this, that
Slip right
punch is
through.
going through. It's going right through. So when he was throwing the uppercuts, like believe it or not, he was hitting me, but there was no power behind it. There was no waist, there was no back leg, there was nothing. So I'm just sitting here chilling. He's getting tired. As soon as he let go, that's when I started swinging. You
hmm
know, so he beat himself. In other words, I'm just sitting there waiting. You
Well, I
know,
think it was your strategy that beat him for sure. Like you said, you're looking for your openings and being able to, stay calm and collective under pressure like that. It is a skill set and it's a trait you develop. Not many people can stay calm when they're taking damage, even though you're like, hey, it's not really affecting me too much. When you're in a match and you get hit, you also, a couple things go through your mind. One, are the judges seeing this? I need to respond back. I may be
Mhm.
losing this round. So you kind of feel some of that pressure of needing to respond and you kind of get in a hurry up, which could make you make some mistakes. So
Mhm.
having that kind of coolness in the ring, it's essential to finding your openings and maintaining that calmness of find your big shots, I guess. So
Right,
again, I think that that's a wonderful trait as a fighter, and it didn't seem like too many things in there were getting you riled up,
right,
and that's awesome. That's probably due to some experience and whatnot.
right. I mean, it
Was
was dirty
there?
boxing, so I wasn't weighed down by the gloves, but I
Yeah.
do understand that it's going to hurt though.
Mhm.
You do
But you
get
don't really
touched.
feel it though too much in the moment,
Right.
just with adrenaline and everything going. It's just things are happening. Like you said, I can't really guard it, so that range management becomes so much more important. Your slips become more important. You're not necessarily
Hmm.
relying on your guard anymore. You're more relying on that range management. So keeping him away so he can't hit me, or we get close and I can wrap him up, which is something that does what you can do in dirty boxing. Did that rule set kind of appeal to you? The fact that if he got close, I can kind of do that hockey grab and start hitting him from the clinch.
It did, but um, I didn't. At first, I thought about it, but once he did it the first time, and I was like, no, this ain't for me because my uppercuts got arms are long, so I'm not going to
Mm-hmm.
be as effective versus a short arm guy. So I'm like, man, I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to stand up with it. If I got a clinch or something like that, that's only because I got to catch my breath. Again, I
Mm-hmm.
didn't do none of that. So it is appealing, and if somebody who has power, who's an infighter, and who specializes in that, it's good for them. But if you're mid to long range, yeah, I don't see the benefit other than catching your breath because you got to understand too, like you're doing that, they can still punch. Yeah, they'll
Mm-hmm.
take hits, but they're gonna hit that midsection, and all it takes is that one sweet spot to your liver or to your kidney or something. Accidental or not, it just takes one, and that's going to take a toll. So
Mm-hmm.
it's appealing, but it doesn't apply to me. It's not for me. Like, I don't
Yeah.
see.
Well, maybe as the training evolves and whatnot, you might be able to find some uses for that clinch. Like you said, you already have one idea. If I get tired, I want to hang on the guy, which isn't a bad strategy. I mean, throw your weight on him as you're hanging on him, make him hold
Hmm.
you up. That takes a lot of energy, especially at these ultra heavyweight divisions. I mean, that's a lot of weight to hold up on him. So you leaning on the guy, I feel bad for him. It's
Right.
gonna wear him out for sure. Um, what did you do different for training for the dirty boxing compared to training for like a regular boxing match?
Instead of using boxing gloves, I used my bare hands or I used the MMA gloves.
Mhm,
I also worked on my footwork, which was terrible my first fight. The second fight was a bit cleaner, but it could use some improvement. So a lot of people, I don't think a lot of people noticed, but I relied more on my back leg. So I
mm,
have my leg kind of up so I can just go in and I kind of stepped deeper, but I snapped with my jabs.
mhm,
So knowing that the gloves are not going to wear me down, so now I'm faster. Now I can
mhm,
move quicker. Now I can actually slip my punches and I can actually see my opponent. And honestly, I would actually prefer that than regular boxing because of the fact that it's more realistic, to
right.
be honest. But at the same time, I grew up on boxing, so yeah, I'll throw on the gloves, but I wouldn't mind doing dirty boxing as
Mm,
well.
You might just
So
be a better fit for you. Yeah,
right.
there's nothing wrong with that. You can still implement a lot of your boxing training, a lot of your boxing experience into this competition. It's just like you said, the big difference is one, they allow clinch, and number
Hmm.
two, smaller gloves. So
Hmm.
once you're able to manage that, then yeah, all your boxing technique, all your boxing training still applies. It's not like you're having to really change your game like you would in MMA. Like boxing applies to MMA, but if all you know in boxing, if all you know is boxing when you do MMA, it's going to really put you at a disadvantage,
Right.
especially when it comes to the stance, kicking, the grappling aspect, and so forth, right?
Right.
Compared to dirty boxing, a lot of your training applies to this aspect, and it seems to be, like I said, more of a fit for you. Do you think that this style has a future at the scrapyard?
Absolutely. Especially, I'm going to sign up again for it. I mean, I'm gonna do it. And if it becomes a big hit, I mean, I can't wait to see who's going to be up in the yard just to try it out. I mean, I
Mhm.
have seen a lot of posts about dirty boxing from different weight classes, so it's already a big ring. Again, shout out to Fire Chicken for allowing it to happen because now a lot of people are going to be like, man, it's more realistic. It's like you get a better feel, you're faster and everything like that. But there are some people who would not want to do it, and there are actually some people that I may want to fight too in the future. So
Mhm.
I mean, it kind of weighs. But at the end of the day, I think it's good. I mean, I'm gonna do both regardless, but I will probably lean more to dirty boxing because you're faster, you have more energy reserve. You just have to work on your speed. You have to work on your
Mm.
slips, work on sidestep, work on pivoting. And actually, you do a pivot. It's going to be wonderful. You do a pivot because that punch is going to come so fast with a perfect pivot. Man, it's going to be beautiful.
Yeah, 100%, man. And I'm looking forward to you doing more of these dirty boxing matches and actually seeing more divisions get into dirty boxing.
I
I
would
think
like
it's
to
a
see that.
fantastic addition to the scrapyard. I love how the scrapyard has such a variety of different matches that you can do. I mean, hell, they may even have more armored matches out there. You
Hmm.
were there for the event. We had the
Oh
knights
yeah,
out there and the armor
front row
fight.
seat.
That was crazy, right? Like
Right,
we're getting those type of events. We did a tag team boxing event. They may even do some tag team jujitsu events in the future. I mean, the scrapyard is one of these like I don't know, special magical places where they encumbered so many different things, so many different individuals coming from different backgrounds, different skill sets, experiences, etc. Right?
right,
And they're able to accommodate damn near everything, from like we said, boxing, MMA, all that other stuff. And I love that we're really branching out to these new kind of styles. I mean, it's not really a new style, but it is like a kind of like a new type of match that's starting to become popular.
right. And I,
Um,
I do hope so too because especially like the 145, for example. Oh, those punches are gonna be flying.
Yeah,
Oh my
those boys,
goodness,
they're
just spider
quick.
waves.
Yeah, they're quick.
Yeah. So I would love to see it. Like I would like to see Gilchrist, Chef,
Mhm,
even Dozer. He's up and coming, like I said, the one I'm training. Even him.
mhm.
Um, if Punisher ever decides to do boxing or something, even him, like
That might
it's
be a
just
good fit for him too. Yeah.
right, because the fists are going to be flying, people are going to be moving faster, and they're not going to be bogged down by the weight of the gloves. I mean, if you're doing proper training for shoulders and everything, yes. However, just feeling free and just be able to move, especially when you get to sit down for that 30 seconds, you're not weighed down by the weight. When you got your arm over your arms down, like it's basically like you have nothing on.
Yeah, and people don't really realize that too. Like you look at, like I said, boxing gloves, and at the scrapyard they compete in 12-ounce gloves, but you train typically in 16-ounce gloves, which is just a pound. But
Mhm.
you don't realize when you're holding that pound and you're throwing that pound out in succession, like with combinations and whatnot, that gets super tiring when you do that for any extended amount of time. And
Mhm.
y- if you're not a fighter, you've never done it, yeah, you just from an outside perspective, like you said, people are just like, throw your punches, come on, put that fire on them, not really realizing, like, dude, my I can barely lift my freaking arms right now, you
Mhm.
know. Especially, if you're getting hit and your guard's getting hit, your arms are taking damage. That takes energy from you when you take damage.
Right.
So those are all just things that I guess we know from being behind the scenes, as they'd say. um let me ask you some questions about the scrapyard. What do you
Okay.
like most about the scrapyard?
I like the fact that you don't know your opponent.
Mm,
That's the one thing I really do like.
mm,
It's a up and down, but I mean it's basically like amateur boxing. You don't know your opponent. You get to tell who your opponent is at the day of, and then you just fight. I
mm,
would say that people if people are starting for the first time, watch videos. If you're a real
mm,
fighter, you watch other fighters. You pick up on their skill. Like I tell people, I watch a fight. I watch one person. I watch
mm,
that same fight and watch the other person, or I'll watch the fight just in the total of the fight. Then I'll watch one, then I'll watch the other. But I really like the fact you don't know who you're fighting. It is more of a realistic, like if I'm on the
mm,
street type of deal. So I really do like that. I like the atmosphere and people who encourages other people. Even if you have a beef, I mean, I've only seen two beef fights so far, personally
mm.
being there, and it's good that they could just shake hands and just be cool. And then you see on the internet that they're not talking trash to each other or anything like that.
Right.
It's really good. That's men. That's men and women.
Mm-hmm.
That's being an adult. Like you ain't picking up no weapon. You ain't trying to
Mm-hmm.
show off or be chauvinistic or trying to show who got the biggest equipment or whatever. Man, you go in there, you show out, and let the higher power see
Right.
who's fit.
Whatever happens, happens, man.
Right.
I couldn't agree with you more about that. I think that the premise and the message that the organization was founded on, guns down, gloves up. I mean,
Hmm.
that holds true, man. And we need outlets like this for individuals that are having those kind of like I don't know, confrontation with another individual. Yeah, we have an event for you guys, and it's going to be, you're still going to get in there and you're going to be able to exchange punches, hit each other, take
Hmm.
out what you need to take out on that individual, but it's going to be in a relatively safe manner. You're going to have a ref there. You're fighting on turf. You're not fighting on concrete.
Right.
If you get knocked out or you knock out the individual, there's going to be somebody there that's going to break it up. And then when it's done, like you said, we can shake hands, and what we said or what we needed to say has been said. We
Right.
said it. We talk with our fists, and as especially as men, or it's branching out more for like a women too. We need to have that. We need to be able to do that because sometimes words fail.
Hmm.
And yeah, we need to get that out. And I personally don't like looking over my shoulder when I have an issue with somebody. I like to handle it right then. So
Right.
the fact that they have something like this out there, I couldn't give it more praise for sure.
Right.
uh,
The best ones I've seen was Gilchrist and Blue. That was the best
that
one.
was an
Like,
amazing one, man.
I
Back
mean,
and forth.
right. But at the same time, though, they don't talk trash to each other. They hold high respect,
Mm,
and they're training and everything like that. They're doing their
mm,
thing. I want to say, oh, what's it? Death Sentence. I've seen his fights before. He always
Mhm.
got beef with somebody, you know. But at the same
Yeah.
time, though, with him, he's just going to have beef or whatever. You know, it's
Yeah,
whatever.
some of it's a
But it's
character, a little
right. But
bit,
as
right?
far as the other person, they're like, man, I beat him, but I still want to be cool. I beat
Mhm.
him. Now I'm cool, but I'm not gonna mess with him. Now I know what type of
Right.
character he is,
Mhm.
regardless win, lose, or draw. You know,
Mhm.
and it's more of the person. I'm not putting down Death Sentence. I'm just saying
No,
that's his
no.
character. That's
Mhm.
him. You know, it's for the other person. You can see that they okay, I was wrong. Maybe I came out wrong, you know?
Mhm.
So win, lose, or draw. Okay, that's how he is. Okay, cool. He ain't gonna be cool with me, but I learned my lesson.
Right,
You
and
know?
you have to have some level of respect for somebody that's willing to get into the ring with you. You know,
Right.
regardless of what they said or whatever, at least have to respect that they're not just a shit talker, that they're willing to stand on what it is that they're saying. And I
Hmm.
will say that about that since he is willing to get in the ring, which
Absolutely.
99% of people are not able to do, not willing to do. And for the most part, a lot of his antics or whatever, it's reactionary to people coming at him. He does a match, and then there's a lot of internet trolls out there, a lot of pro fighters behind the screen that like
Hmm.
to give their opinions. So a lot of his stuff is in defense. Not to say that he doesn't go after people and stuff, and he's a character and all that, but
Right, right,
it
right.
is it goes both ways, you know what I mean? And I think he's done fantastic in terms of creating that notoriety, and it's great for the promotion to again get the scrapyard out there and whatnot. And because of him, Mighty Mouse he showed up at the scrapyard, and we got to meet Mighty Mouse. And that right there was like a dream come true for a lot of fighters
And
to
then he took
meet.
on Wing C too, and he's been doing 4 fights now.
Oh,
I
Wing
think I
C, he's
think
pro
yeah,
now. Yeah,
yeah.
he signed with Karate Combat. He
Hmm.
had a match not too long ago. I think it was a few weeks ago now, maybe a month
Yeah, at the
ago.
karate,
Yeah.
the karate one. Yep, I saw that.
He did well there, and he's fought for the PFL,
I
and
saw those
he's
too.
he's definitely on his way to making a name for himself. I mean, he's already kind of made somewhat of his name for himself. It's kind of crazy what these type of platforms can really do for you in terms of notoriety.
Right.
Having said that, what do you think? Why do you think the Scrapyard does better than a lot of other fight platforms?
They keep it real. It's real. It's not
Mhm.
political. It's not favoritism. It's not it's not like promoting people on just so they can get a budget. You know, they actually. I mean, I've seen people like you just said. You have Viking Warrior just show up and he's went pro. I saw
Mhm.
3 or 4 people to the yard already that went pro.
Yep.
We just mentioned Wing C. Um,
Mhm.
the fact
Mal
is that a
Yeah.
lot of people like Man of God could go pro if he wanted to. Like
Mhm.
I see it in him. He's clean. He's nice with
Definitely
his
on his
pendulum
way
stuff.
if he wants
Actually,
it. Yep.
him and his whole team they can go if they wanted to.
Mhm.
It's the fact that there's it's genuine. It's pure. It's like, hey, I don't want nothing out of it. Help it. Even on Sandra with her photography, like the fact is that everybody has some type of connection and they're willing to help and push forward. And those same people that go forward don't forget where they came from. And that's the number one thing. Nobody forgot where they came from. Nobody forgot where they started.
Yeah. Hey, man, and you just answered my next question was describing the scrapyard community, and I think you just said it right there, man. I mean, it's such a that's the I feel like that's kind of like the thing that people that view the matches and whatnot, they really miss out on is they miss out on that community aspect that the scrapyard has because they don't realize like it's kind of a really tight knit group.
Hmm.
When you go there as a competitor, it's not like when you go to other amateur events. I mean, I've been doing this a little while, and at a lot of amateur events or even pro events, there's like a level of like tribalism that happens. Like I'm here with my team, it's my team against that team,
Yeah.
and that's understandable. Like that's what we're here for. Kind of where the scrapyard really, I guess, shines is not only are you there for that kind of experience, but it also provides community, and it provides a way for you to train with other like-minded individuals, because the scrapyard gets a lot of independent fighters that show
Hmm.
up, that are looking for a community. And I love that the scrapyard's so inviting to these individuals that are like, yeah, man, I know we're all here to beat each other up, but we're also here to build each other up. And I think it really holds true to that. And it does a fantastic job of displaying that. And I can't wait till the documentary comes out and the fans out there get to really see kind of like some behind the scenes stuff, and they
Right.
get a little bit of a taste of what the community offers the competitors, because it's really is a beautiful thing, man.
It is. I agree. I mean, I've mentioned myself too. I got offered. I had people show off my fight, and I
Mm-hmm.
got offered to go to a gym and train with them and go pro.
There you
Even at
go.
40.
Mm-hmm.
I got a couple guys at work who wants me to train them. You know, and I mean, it is
It
cool.
just
Like,
opens those doors up for you, right? Provides opportunity.
just gotta make time. That's all it
Mm-hmm.
is. No time, not
Yeah.
enough time in the
Yeah.
day. But at the same time, yeah, the community is great. Like it, open arms and everything. It's like
Mm-hmm.
not about race or where you're from, because everybody's coming from different states. You have people from Florida, Texas,
Mm-hmm.
Oregon,
Mm-hmm.
California. They all come in. And
Yeah.
it'd be great if. And this is what I think too. Like if a lot of other states are willing to accept that, I mean, who knows? I mean, violence will lessen.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, sh- thankfully, Washington is I think, only one of two states that allows mutual combat.
Right.
And I agree with you. I think if we had mutual combat in multiple states, it would solve a lot of like really high violent issues. If we have two men that are willing to, hey, let's go out here. You agree to fist fight. I agree to fist fight. And when that's done, we're both gonna walk away from that. It doesn't need to escalate to the point where, like you said, we need to pull out hardware. We need to sit here and talk shit and all that. Because I really think that that's kind of like uh the fact that we can't have that agreement that we're going to fist fight, then we sit there, we talk shit, and that's what really escalates things to those higher levels where it's like, oh, I'm not going to fight you now, I'm just going to stab you or shoot you now,
Right.
compared to, hey, no, we have something here, we have it within our state where we can just step outside and we can stop this talking back and forth and just get this over with. And I think that that really does add an element of like, you know um a way to handle things, I guess.
Yeah, and I believe people should like my Mighty Mouse actually mentioned it in a podcast that there's a law of mutual combat. As long as
Mhm.
both people agree, whoever falls down, boom, that's
That's
the
it.
end of it.
That's when it ends. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. You
and,
can't just
and
mount them and beat the shit out of them, but
right,
it at least gives you some outlet for sure.
yeah, it's done and over with. I mean, you want to come back, then hey, go to the yard then. I mean,
Yeah,
make it
and you can do it
official.
multiple times
Yeah,
there. Yeah, you can
right.
fight as much as you want there. Let me ask you this, and feel free to be honest about it, because we're always looking to improve.
Hmm.
If you could improve one thing about the scrapyard, what would it be?
I would say, well, let's be two things. I would say the level system and weight class. Now I can do the weight class easier because I'm super heavyweight. There's no super heavyweight. So
Hmm.
if somebody like myself go in, I can't fight a lot of people who are 240 to 280, 290 even, just a little shave here and there. I can't
Hmm.
fight them because now I got all this weight. I got 50 pounds on them, up to 50
Hmm.
pounds. So it's like I hit versus their hit, unless they're, working out or whatever. Like it's so I believe that there should be another weight class, even though there's a lot of little, whatever case may be, even if it happens so much, at least people who come out their way, they have a weight division. And yeah, you'd be sucked that, you got somebody who's 220 versus somebody who's 300. Yeah, that's a big disadvantage. But here's the advantage. The one dude, he's smaller, so he's faster, he has more energy, he's able to slip in and out, he's more reactive. And then you have the big guy who's slow, but he's able to make the space smaller. He can corner
Hmm.
that person. He could, um, even
Hmm.
conserve his energy if he
Hmm.
may be. Like myself, like I'll conserve my energy until I actually have to use my energy. I may seem slow, but when you get hit, you're not gonna realize that that jab just came. So
Yeah.
people can adjust their style and make people perceive that they're one thing when they're really not. That's
Mhm.
up to the fighter. As far as the level system, I do agree with the level system. However, I myself personally, I don't. When I started, I didn't see myself as a level zero, nor did I see myself as a level one because of my experience, especially after the first fight and the second fight. I'm like,
Mhm.
nah, I'm not. I don't see myself at a lower level, even though I only fought a couple times in the yard. Personally, with the knowledge and experience and constantly training, I don't. I don't see nor feel that I'm at that level. If
Mhm.
there's a little more leniency and more description, then yeah, I can see that the level system would work. Like
Mhm.
for example, Barn Dog, right?
Mhm.
He said he was a level zero because he's never fought, but you're training five people.
Right. Yeah.
And in one day, all your people won. That's not showing a level zero or a one. That's like a
Mhm.
three to me.
Mhm.
Especially if you fought,
I
I think he
believe
fought
he
three
I
times.
believe now he's up to the level 3. So he
Right,
may have gone in as a level 0 based off, like you said, the qualifications that makes you a level 0. Um, but when it comes to the leveling, like, you get to choose your levels, and
right,
they give you kind of an outline. Well, if you've never done this, then you probably fit into this category,
right,
right?
right.
I would say that the levels are more so for the guys that are more experienced so that you
Hmm.
can't go down in levels. Now, if you're a level 0 and you want to go in as like a level 3 or level 4, you can do that. There's nobody that's stopping you from doing that. We're
Right.
going to ask you some questions, and we
Mm,
may, based off of your answers, I may place you with somebody that's like a level 2. If you're like a level 4 and you're telling me you've never trained before, you never had any matches before, you've only wrestled with your buddies out in the back, and you're coming in as a level 4, I'm
hmm.
gonna look at that and probably match you up with somebody that's like a level 1 or a level 2 typically, just because, you mean based off your experience, right?
Right,
But we have some individuals that are like, "Oh, yeah, no, I've competed on the amateur scene, but I've never won a title," but they have, like, 15, 16 matches out on the amateur scene. They just never gotten a title. And maybe they fought for some titles, but they never got it. But they've been
right.
training for 10 years, and then they're coming in as like a level 1. And it's like, well, no, you've had multiple matches and shit like that. You're actually probably closer to like a level 4. And because
Hmm.
you've had over 10 matches, I would actually put you probably closer to like a level 5.
Right,
So I think that those are kind of like the reasonings for it. But you are right. It is super hard to kind of gauge people on where they're at when you don't have any prior knowledge of them either.
right.
You're
And it's a
going off of
double-edged
just what
sword.
they say. Yeah.
Right. And
Yeah,
like I said, when I
definitely.
started, I just put down zero because based off the description it said, okay, well, oh, I know I put a one, excuse me, I put a one. And I know that my first opponent put a zero, right?
Mhm.
It's not that big. Then my second opponent put a zero with the wall. And Ezekiel, that's his name. And the wall put down zero. Again, I'm a one. But after that fight, I'm like, I'm not feeling like a one. Like
Mhm.
even when I started the fight, I'm not feeling like a one.
Mhm.
So it's like, I mean, yes, I do agree. It's for those who are experienced, but those who never stepped into a ring or did a competition like myself, and mind you, a lot of people who like my fights, I never been in a competition. This is straight training since 3 years old. This is
Mhm.
straight street fights. This is straight shadow boxing. This is straight watching videos and picking up pointers and practicing consistently.
Mhm.
I never step into a ring. Never. But it looks like I have though. It looks like I've been at least
Yeah.
some type of amateur. But that's just consistent practice. So
Mhm.
so that's where personally where I'm at, it's like, man, I'm coming in here, I'm fighting these guys who's never stepped in the ring. They probably got in a few street fights, but I'm not feeling like, and I only went to a two because of the fact that maybe I can get some more fights.
Yeah. And hey, that may be the case now too. I mean, we are getting more bigger guys that are showing up, which means
Hmm.
that we're getting a bigger pool of skill sets. I think I mean, Barn Dog, you and Barn Dog are I would say kind of in the realm of the same heavyweight type, and he's a pretty decent boxer. That might be a potential match that ends up happening in the future.
Right.
And that might give you the level of competition that you're looking for. If
Right.
you're really looking to push yourself like that, that might be something that ends up happening. Who knows, man? And we've had some guys in the past as well, that you know you never know who's going to show up at the event, right? We've
Right.
had some. Who is it? Brick House. He was another big heavyweight boxer that's come through. Ginger Ninja. He's a big kid that's come through. There was a guy named Ryan. I forgot what his fighter name was, but he was there last year, and he was another big guy that had some solid hands. I feel like the more that you keep showing up at the events and the more that you're there, you're going to attract some high level, really skilled, bigger guys that are come through. And yeah, you're definitely going to get your fill, bro, for sure.
Right.
Let me ask you. I don't want to keep you too long because we've already gone over our hour and whatnot. I know you got the
Right.
kids there and whatever, so I don't want to keep you. But I would like to ask you one more question, and that's what would you like people to remember most about Big Hurt?
That well, actually, it was what you said when I first met you. Big heart. Got a
Big
big
Heart.
heart. I'll take the hits. I mean, I don't care. Like win, lose, or draw. I'm gonna take it. I'm not there for anybody else. I'm there to prove myself that I
Hmm.
had the potential to be something somewhere. It's just unfortunate that I didn't have the opportunity.
Hmm.
But in life, it comes back. The scrapyard
100%.
is the place,
Hmm.
and I'm gonna try to aim for the championship. So I'm not gonna challenge the championship until I get another three more fights. I'm gonna do it like a professional. I'm gonna
Hmm.
at least six fights in, hopefully six wins, and then I'll go for the championship and just go from there. But I'm not doing it for nobody else. I mean, shout out to all you guys who support and watch and have a lot of things to say. I do take constructive criticism and everything you guys say. I do appreciate, but just remember, I got a big heart, and I'm
Hmm.
there to prove to myself. I'm not fighting y'all. I'm fighting me.
I love it. I love it, man. Man on a mission too. You're constantly striving to have that self improvement, and you're like you said, you're battling yourself, your biggest opponent. So, big ups to you again, bro. Thank you so much for joining me on the podcast. I love hearing your story and your experiences, and I really look forward to seeing many more of your matches in the future, man.
Right.
Um,
I
I hope
appreciate
that's
it.
yeah, of course. I hope that you have a wonderful day. And when's the next match or when's the next event you're gonna be at?
I'm hoping for March because there's
Perfect.
some things I want to work on. I'm I still got one person training. I got two other people that's going to be
Hmm.
coming up, and even though I'm training them, I'm getting some money too. I got the
Perfect.
kids also. They just got into boxing, so
Hmm.
after work, got an hour to myself. Then take them to their little boxing thing and let them do it, and then start all over. So most likely, I'll be back in March. Or no, not March. Excuse me, April.
May,
April or
April.
May.
Okay.
April or May. I'm one of those 2 days. I don't know. We'll see.
Well, we'll definitely be there at your next event. We plan on being at at least the next 4 or 5 events. That unless there's some unforeseeable thing that happens,
Life
I'll
happens. Yeah.
definitely be there. You guys are always welcome. I know it's a bit of a drive, but you're always welcome to stop in to my gym, and we can get some work in. And that invitation extends to the people that you're training as well as your children too. If you'd like to bring them through. We
Right.
have a facility, and yeah, man, we'd love to get some cross training in with you.
All right.
Before I let you go, though, let the people know how they can find you if they want to, reach out to you or become a fan.
Well, you can find me on the Facebook as Philly Boy Curtis. You can. I have a TikTok. I do not know the name of that one because I barely go on there. But you can always hit me up on Facebook. If
Mm,
you find the YouTube name, actually, I'm gonna change my Facebook name soon to Big Hurt.
perfect.
85 maybe. So you can always find me there. YouTube links. If I do get notifications, so if you send any messages or put my name down or whatever the case may be, I will get them. I do answer, even though I'm not supposed to while I'm at work. I still do, regardless, because you guys are important too, because you guys are the ones that make this happen also. But
Mhm.
I'll find somewhere how I can put all my information down that everybody can go ahead and hit me up, ask for pointers, advices, stories, and such.
I love it, man. All right. Well, again, I really appreciate you taking the time out of your day to do this with me, and I look forward to talking to you again in the future, bro. You
All
have
right.
yourself a wonderful day with the kids, and I'll talk to you later. All right.
All right.
All right, boss. Take it easy.
You too.